Hey guys, Jack Austin here. I play Mike Archer in a new 7-lamb audio drama series called Tower 4. Mike is a newly hired fire watcher in the Wyoming woods. What he thinks is going to be an easy 5 months of surveying the woods and working on his book quickly turns creepy as he starts picking up eerie whispers and classical music over his radio. More strange occurrences take place with each passing day. If you want to listen to this new mystery thriller, visit www.7lamb.com or search for Tower 4 wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hello, everyone. I'm Robert Lamb. With me is Amber Simpson, and this is Will There Be Cake? James Bond edition!
Woo!
Do you expect us to talk? Because we're going to. This is the podcast.
Do you expect us to talk?
Because this is the podcast where we're going to celebrate, because this is what day, Amber Simpson?
Global James Bond Day.
So it's all over the world.
Robert's favorite holiday.
Yeah, because, yeah.
Yeah.
I love me some tall, dark, and handsome secret agent with a license to kill.
Yeah.
With a license to kill.
Yeah.
That's the song that she
definitely
sings.
how it goes.
Yeah.
Keep your day job, Robert.
Thank you. But this is global. And you know why? Because James Bond, he travels all over the globe to stop
and everybody
just
loves
evil
James
villains.
Bond. Yeah.
You like James Bond?
Yeah, of course I like James Bond.
Okay.
I can't say that I really cared
Love
about
James
James Bond before I met you. And then you kind of forced James Bond on me and
I do that to everybody.
And made me watch like all of them. Not all of them.
Not all of them. There's
a
24.
lot of them though.
Yeah,
a lot
there's
of them. And then I kind of grew to love them. They're fun.
I think a lot of people love like the newer ones, because
they're not as like
they're growing up
kooky
with
crazy.
Them.
Some of those old ones
goofy.
are weird as shit.
So here's the thing about James Bond.
And
I'm gonna try not to lecture too much on this episode, but we'll see.
I'm gonna take a nap.
There's actually a couple things, but we'll go with number one is James Bond started in 1962.
Yeah,
I mean the movies. Why there was a TV movie. But this is the movies that were by Albert R. Broccoli and Cubby Broccoli and the other producer.
But there is books before.
Right, written by Ian Fleming. That's where James Bond originated, was from the books by Ian Fleming. His first book was Casino Royale, but that wasn't made into a movie until much later. But it was made into a TV movie. That was the first depiction of James Bond on the screen, was the TV movie Casino Royale.
And that came out before the first movie?
Yeah, it came out in the 50s or whatever. Okay. And then the first movie, the actual movie, was 1962, and they did Dr. No.
Dr. No.
And Dr. No was probably, I think, his like sixth or seventh book with James Bond. But the reason why they did that one first is they thought it was the easiest one to adapt, because James Bond didn't go to a lot of places. It was just took place mainly in Jamaica. Yeah. So they're like, we can film this one, and it's got some pretty good locales that we can shoot, like on the beaches and stuff. So that's why they picked that one first. And they wanted to see if it would work out and if people liked it, and people loved it.
Loved it.
So then they just went with it, and they decided to keep it going. And Sean Connery they picked, and he was in Dr. No, and then the year later he was in From Russia with Love, and then a year after that he was in Goldfinger. I almost said Goldmember.
Goldfinger.
And then he was in Thunderball, and those all came out within a year of each other.
Yeah, that's crazy. That did so well. They were just like, just keep pumping them out.
Thunderball did so well. It was one of the highest grossing movies for a while. That they like wanted to do a fifth one, but it took, I think, 2 years for that one to come out, which was You Only Live Twice. And that one had a huge budget and like had that's where they had the volcano lair, and they were like starting to get a little goofy at that point.
I liked it though.
Yeah, I mean, those are cool. Like
once
the first
they
four,
goofy, they were fun.
I mean, the first four, they had their moments of a little bit of goofiness, but they were still kind of like secret agents stuff where he was like, investigating things, and it wasn't all pure action. But then when You Only Live Twice came out, it was like he was like, it was a little bit over the top, and then it just kind of went that way. Except for the one right after that actually brought it back down and got really serious because Sean Connery left the role after You Only Live Twice because he was kind of getting bored of the role. Oh, yeah. And George Lazenby stepped in, who was an Australian model.
That was the one I didn't even know he was a James Bond until today.
Right, and he was only in one. And the reason why he was only in one, he actually is not a bad James Bond.
Okay.
Although they dubbed his voice, I believe, in the movie, which is weird. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know if they dubbed his voice with another actor or if it was his voice and he just did line readings after the fact. I think they dubbed his voice, though, with somebody else. But he was an Australian model, and they liked him. They liked the way he looked, so they were like, let's get him to be James Bond. So he came in and stepped in for Sean Connery, but the problem was he was just difficult to work with on the set, and he was kind of snobby.
He was one of the highest paid models working in Europe.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, so he was just kind of, he was a little pompous, and they didn't like working with him. And Peter Hunt directed that one, which he was, I believe, like a cinematographer for earlier James Bonds, but then this was his directorial debut. And On Her Majesty's Secret Service was that one, and it had Diana Rigg in it, who Diana Rigg just died recently.
Aww,
she was in Game of Thrones. She was Olenna Tyrell or whatever.
I forgot about that. Oh man, that's crazy. It makes me want to
And she was also in the original.
That's the one I'll watch today, then.
Yeah, she was in the original Avengers series too, not Marvel's Avengers.
Right.
The Avengers, which was a 60s spy thriller TV show. But anyways, she was in it, and her and George Lazenby did not get along. So they after that, they were like, we're not going to work with George Lazenby anymore. So they begged for Sean Connery to come back in Diamonds Are Forever. And he was like, yeah, I'll come back. I think they paid him an exorbitant amount of money. I think it was like $5 million, which was a lot at the time.
We need you.
They're like, come back, and he came back for one more.
Considering they only spent $1 million making Dr. No, yeah, that's a lot of money.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So $5 million, I believe, is what they paid him just to come back and return. The thing that's funny, though, is when he came back, to me personally, Diamonds Are Forever is one of the worst James Bonds.
Really?
Yeah. It's really bad. It's really corny and goofy. And after Honor Majesty's Secret Service... Yeah, but Honor Majesty's Secret Service actually brought it down to reality.
Right.
With George Lazenby. And his wife, he gets married in that one.
Oh, yeah.
He gets married to Diana Rigg.
I heard about that.
But it gets kind of depressing after that. But it's got, like... Honor Majesty's Secret Service, I believe, is Christopher Nolan, the director, his favorite James Bond movie, or at least one of his. And he's there's a ski chase in Honor Majesty's Secret Service, which is a really good action sequence. And Christopher Nolan loves that scene that he kind of put that into Inception. There's a whole ski chase scene in Inception, and he did that because of his love for James Bond and all that kind of stuff. It was like an homage to that kind of action. But then Diamonds Are Forever came out. After that, Sean Connery left, and they finally got who they wanted for a long time, who was tied to his Saints contract, because he was in The Saint, which was a TV show at the time too. Roger Moore. And Roger Moore came and was in 8 James Bond?
That's a lot. 1, 2, 3,
He's
4,
in 8,
5, 7. 8? Live and Let Die.
Maybe it was 7. Yeah.
The Man with the Golden Gun.
Yeah. Then it was
Spy Who Loved Me.
That was after Man with the Golden Gun? Let me think. Yeah,
7,
Spy Loved Me, then Moonraker. Yeah, that makes sense.
For Your Eyes Only.
And then
Octopussy.
And then the last one, View to Kill. Yeah, so 7. Yeah, because Sean Connery was in 6. That's right, because George Lazenby came in. So then Roger Moore was in the most, but he was getting old at the time. And he was like, oh, I'm like in my 50s. And they're like, come on, do one more. So he did A View to a Kill, which was not a good one. But that was the first one I ever watched as a kid. Nice. And that's what got me into James Bond. In fact, I only really liked the Roger Moore ones as a kid because I just connected to him. And they were a little more goofy and fun.
Yeah.
And then after Roger Moore was Timothy Dalton.
Just 2.
He was only in 2, and he could have probably been in more, but they had a legal battle with another guy who helped write Thunderball, and he helped create the character of Ernst Stavros Blofeld, who was like the leader of Spectre, who was like James Bond's main villain. Mm-hmm. He like ran this terrorist organization known as Spectre. And so there's this legal battle of who would own Ernst Stavros Blofeld's character and why I think his name was Kevin McClory, who helped write Thunderball. And Kevin McClory wanted to make his own version of Thunderball because he didn't like the movie version that came out. So he actually made his own movie. Eventually, he got the rights to it. Made a movie called Never Say Never Again that came out the same year as Octopussy, when Roger Moore was in Octopussy.
83.
Yeah, and Never Say Never Again, he got Sean Connery to come back and reprise his role.
Whoa.
But it's not canon. It's not part of the actual Eon Productions. It was just like a standalone one.
Was it good?
And it's not good.
Okay.
So I'm okay with that because that one's one of the worst ones, I believe. And then...
well, wait.
What?
I have a fact to say.
Okay.
They initially approached Timothy Dalton to play James Bond in 1968, but he declined because he was only 25.
Yeah, I think he turned it down a lot, and they wanted him for a while. And then they went to Roger Moore, and then once they had Roger Moore, I think they went back to Timothy Dalton. They're like, "Do you want to take over?" And I think he still kind of declined. That's why Roger Moore was in one more. Yeah. And then finally Timothy Dalton was like, "Okay."
87.
But he wanted to do it differently.
His are like darker, more conflicted.
Yeah, he wanted to play it as Ian Fleming originally wrote it, where he was kind of a conflicted guy. Yeah. And actually, I don't think he's even really supposed to be like handsome in the books either. He has a scar on his face in the books, and he's kind of more rugged and stuff. So Timothy Dalton's like, I want to do that, but I want to make it like my own. So they did. The problem was they didn't bring in a lot of money. Yeah. And then because of all the behind the scenes,
I don't think I saw The Living Daylights. I saw License to Kill, but I don't think
Living Daylights is pretty good. License to Kill is more of like a Miami Vice type thing.
Yeah, okay.
Which is fine. But I mean, the cool thing about James Bond is there's just different stories for each one.
Exactly.
But because of the legal battles behind the scenes, they postponed making any more for a while, and that's why Timothy Dalton eventually was like, either make another one or I'm opting out because I'm getting too old. So they approached Pierce Brosnan, who was in Remington Steele, and they liked him in Remington Steele. So they were like, all right, let's see if he'll come and be James Bond. So in 1995 or whatever.
That's a big gap.
Yeah, that was the biggest gap, was from License to Kill to, it was 89 to 95, which is 6 years.
Not technically the biggest gap, because we were just discussing Skyfall was 2012, right?
Yeah, but Spectre came out in 2015, so that's only a 5-year gap.
I forgot about Spectre. You're right.
But then Pierce Brosnan came and he did 4 James Bond movies. Now the interesting thing is his fourth one, to me, which is Die Another Day. Yeah. Is probably the worst James Bond movie of all of them.
It's not good.
It's not good. It's really corny. There's too much CGI, and it's just bad. But Goldeneye is considered a classic, and it's one of the best ones.
It's really good.
And the cool thing about it is after Die Another Day, they realized that they kind of jumped the shark, and it kind of got ridiculous. So they were like, let's bring it back down to reality. So they got Casino Royale. They decided to adapt that book finally and make it more of a prequel. And they cast Daniel Craig, which a lot of people were upset about because they said Daniel Craig did not look like James Bond because he was short and blonde and blue-eyed. Yeah. But he came in and people loved Casino Royale and they were hopeful about what was to come. The cool thing was that the guy who directed Goldeneye in 95 also directed Casino Royale in 2006. It was the same director. And people consider both of those classics. And not only that, Goldeneye kind of brought James Bond back because of the hiatus. Right. And it also brought him back again after Pierce Brosnan left with Casino Royale. So most people are like, just let Martin Campbell direct any new James Bond movies that you need because they're usually good. Then Quantum of Solace came out, which was a bad James Bond movie.
It was bad.
And then Skyfall broke records. Yeah. That was the highest grossing, I believe, like over $1 billion. It made more than Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, that one was good.
That was really good.
That one I took the standee of Daniel Craig home from that one too, and he was like laying down shooting a gun, and I had him like laying on the back of my couch for like 6 months. It was great.
That was we watched that in IMAX and stuff. Yeah, because we were working at the movie theater.
That one was super long, right? I know there's shit ton.
Yeah, I think Casino Royale and Skyfall were both like
2:30 or something.
It might have been 2:20, but Spectre was 2:30. Spectre was the longest one. The problem with Spectre is they finally got the rights back to Ernst Stavros Blofeld after all these legal battles. So they're like, all right, let's bring this character back because people liked him in the early days of Bond. And they did with Christoph Waltz. The thing was, the movie wasn't that great. It was okay. It wasn't bad. Yeah.
I don't even remember it. I need to rewatch it before No Time to Die.
Yeah, that was the
out,
problem. Was it wasn't memorable.
I don't remember it at all.
but now, 5 years later, they're finally releasing another one.
Got pushed back a little bit, but as of right now, still slotted to come out next month. Yeah. And I think it's going to happen, like, unless COVID numbers go up a lot and people go back into quarantine. I think this will be they wanted Tenet to be that movie that gets people out, but I think this will be more of the movie the 2020 movie that actually gets people out to.
The problem is it's not going to get the big numbers that they wanted. They were hoping for like Skyfall numbers for this one. I don't know. It's not going to be close to that because of COVID.
Yeah,
but they'll still make money.
I'm wondering like if they wanted to keep it this year because they wanted to be that like big first movie. I don't know what they, but it's such like a gamble because they could lose so much money.
They could lose a lot. I'm sure that they'll put it on like you can order it and
VOD and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for it, and I probably will go to the theater to go watch it. It's supposed to be, I think it might even be the longest one they said now.
Oh, my God.
Which means it's going to be longer than Spectre. I believe that's what they said. There's a lot more characters in this one.
It looks great. It has that one kid from the Queen movie as the villain.
Oh, Rami Malek.
Yeah, he's a good actor. And he's good. Goofy looking. He'll be a good...
When you said Queen movie, I was thinking of The Queen with Helen Mirren, and then I realized you meant Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian
about
Rhapsody.
Queen. Yeah. So he plays the villain, which is pretty cool. So I'm excited for that. I think it'll be good. Craig movies have been good, bad, good, okay. So hopefully good again.
But this one, didn't he not want to do this one? Didn't he want to drop out?
He didn't want to do the last one either. He said in an interview that he would rather slit his wrists than do another James Bond movie.
Then why did he do it?
Well, I think part of it has to do with the fact that they were like, we'll give you $30 million.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right.
I won't slit my wrist just yet.
I believe I think it was $30 million. I think that's what I read. Like, that's insane.
That's a lot.
That's a lot for
money.
And I think the whole movie to make was over like $250 million or something like that. Like, it's insane. So that's why they do want to recoup their money that they put into it because it's expensive. But I'm looking forward to it because it looks like it's going to be a little bit different. And the girl, Leia Seydoux, I don't know, the French girl from Spectre.
Yeah.
She's going to be in this one again too, so she's going to have a recurring role, which
is crazy.
Hasn't really
right?
happened much. It's only really happened in Dr. No and From Russia with Love in the beginning. He was dating this one girl who appeared in both, and then
Well, wait, was she a Bond girl? Was she a love interest?
Yeah, he was He's the first girl that he ever saw was this girl called Sylvia Trench. She's the one who says my name's Trench, Sylvia Trench, whatever. He goes Bond, James Bond. Then they fool around or whatever in Dr. No. And then in From Russia with Love, there's the beginning part. She's in there and they're like making out in like a car before he gets a call to go. So like she's the only one who had like a recurring really
because they mostly a lot of them die, don't they?
So there's a joke that you never want to be a red shirt in Star Trek or the first girl Bond sleeps with in a Bond movie, which is true because the first one he ever sleeps with dies, but the second one usually stays.
Yeah,
that's the one that he ends up with. Yeah, I mean, the thing about Bond is, like, there is, like, a structure, but it seems like they're trying different things now, which is kind of cool. So, like, sometimes it works, like with Skyfall. Skyfall was different. There was no Bond girl, really. Yeah. I mean, Judi Dench as M, I guess.
Yeah, but that doesn't count.
Yeah. The timeline for James Bond, though, is also all over the place. It doesn't really make sense anymore.
That's okay.
There's no continuity. People used to think that all the actors, the reason why James Bond changed appearances, like the theory was that James Bond was a name that just got assigned to whoever was 007. To me, that doesn't make any sense either.
Of course, something that's been around this long is going to have conspiracy theories.
Yeah, there's so many like theories behind everything. It just doesn't make sense because like Casino Royale is a prequel to Sean Connery's James Bond.
Yeah.
But Quantum of Solace is a sequel to that prequel. So that means that Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace come before that. But Skyfall is a sequel to all the James Bond movies.
Oh my God.
So that comes in afterwards.
Have you read the books?
Yeah, I read the first 4 or 5.
Okay.
I didn't read Dr. No or past that. They're good. They're short. They're really short reads. They're like 200 pages and there's a lot of information in there. And he always eats a big ass breakfast. Always.
Oh, that's not your
lifestyle. And he likes bone marrow.
Ew. Fuck. And martinis.
The martinis. Chicken.
Chicken, mustard.
Although that means that they're more watered down.
Yeah, that's weird.
Pansy.
I like watered down drinks. So
I guess James Bond does too.
I like my gin and tonics
Really?
in the hot Florida night because then the ice melts and it's like more drink. But
see, I don't like watered down.
I think it depends on the drink, but
yeah,
gin and tonics are good for that. Okay, so I have some facts about the holiday since you just like jumped right into every fact about every James Bond.
Not all of it. That was just more of a timeline.
Let me talk about the holiday.
Go ahead.
Fine.
Now's your turn.
So, as you said, the holiday is on today, October 5th, which is the date that Dr. No premiered in 1962 at the London Pavilion. And it was the first of what became one of the most successful film series ever, of course. And this is the 50, I think we did the math, 58th anniversary of the Bond franchise. That's a lot of years. Mm-hmm. But the holiday started in 2012 when the Bond film celebrated their Goldeneye anniversary, their 50-year anniversary with events all over the globe and the release of the theme song for Skyfall by Adele.
Right.
But yeah, it's celebrated globally. There's a museum in Sweden, a 007 museum in Sweden. That would be, I don't know if it's still open, who knows, because COVID, but that's a thing, which is pretty dope.
That'd be pretty cool.
And then this year, on Wednesday, October 28th, there was a James Bond podcast that launched called No Time to Die, the official James Bond podcast.
Oh, yeah,
it's a 6-part series that features exclusive interviews with the cast and the filmmakers. It has Daniel Craig, of course, Rami Malek, Lea Sedok, and then even Billie Eilish, who does the
theme song.
The theme song, and then you can also hear the score by Hans Zimmerman on the podcast.
Oh, that's right. He does the score.
He does the score.
I think he didn't do the score for Tenet, did he? I don't remember. I think Christopher Nolan wanted him for Tenet, and then
I don't think he did it for Tenet, but I still really like the score for Tenet, yeah. But there's a 007 website as well, and you can look up a bunch of facts, like literally like any fact you can think of.
Yeah, Hans Zimmer had to decline due to his commitments to Dune, actually. Not really? No Time to Die.
So excited for Dune.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say, because he usually scores all of Nolan's movies, at least recent movies.
Okay, which James Bond actor married a Bond girl?
Oh, a Bond, like, you mean Diana Rigg?
Yeah. Well, it was a quiz.
Oh, that's On Her Majesty's Secret Service is where he gets married. But he gets married twice.
I mean in real life.
Oh, in real life. Who was that?
I saw that in my notes, and now I can't find it.
Married a Bond girl. I don't think it's not Roger Moore.
It's Pierce Brosnan.
Which one did he marry?
Cassandra Harris.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, I knew it had to be newer because I don't remember.
And he was awarded an OBE from Queen Elizabeth II in 2003. Ooh. What's an OBE?
You know him. OBE? I don't know what OBE.
That OBE. Okay, who's your favorite Bond, and what's your favorite Bond movie?
Okay, so oh, that's your okay. Not to be like,
has it? It's changed, right?
It's changed over the years. When I was a kid, it was Roger Moore,
right?
Because that's what I grew up with, and I just loved his goofy nature. And my dad liked Roger Moore a lot too. But I would say, it's hard. I have to be more objective. I would say just Sean Connery is probably the best James Bond, but I do think Daniel Craig's really close. I think he's really good.
Yeah,
Roger Moore is good as James Bond. His movies, just some of them are kind of goofy.
And that's what I like about him. I think those are my favorite movies, but I do think Sean Connery plays, I guess because he's the first, like, to me, that's just like, that's who I think of when I think James Bond.
You kind of picture him.
But I do really love Daniel Craig.
I think Daniel Craig's really good. He's just more serious. I think it just depends on what... That's why I like James Bond, is the fact that there really is like a movie for it. Like, if you don't like James Bond, I can show somebody Casino Royale and they'll still love the movie.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's certain ones that people will like. And I have some friends that I talk to who only like the Roger Moore ones because they're like fun.
I like the fun ones.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends. I would say Sean Connery though right now.
Okay, and then your favorite movie.
So, objectively, I would be objective. Although it's very close to what my actual favorites are, I'm gonna do my list.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to remember the last couple because they change often. Number 10. There's 24 James Bond movies.
Yeah.
Number 10 is probably Thunderball, which is a lot of underwater scenes. It's like awesome, big battle underwater. Number 9 would probably be Goldeneye.
Okay.
Is it Goldeneye? Yeah, probably Goldeneye. Which is Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan, yep.
Number 8 would be For Your Eyes Only. Now, people might put Goldeneye above For Your Eyes Only, but For Your Eyes Only was really good. Like, as Roger Moore, he was actually playing it serious that time, which was cool. Number 7 would probably be... Actually, move all those up. Number 10 is License to Kill. Not License to Kill, Living Daylights. I got to get a Timothy Dalton one in there. All right, so that's number 10. So now we're on number 6. Number 6 is Skyfall.
Okay.
Because it's just really good. Number 5 is The Spy Who Loved Me, which is Roger Moore's best movie. It's got like everything. It's got the best henchman. It's got one of the best scores. It's got Jaws as the henchman. That's awesome. Number 4 is From Russia with Love.
Okay.
Which is the second one that Sean Connery did.
Yeah.
Really cool train scenes with Red Grant, who's like a evil villain, like henchman kind of guy who it's played by Robert Shaw from Jaws. He plays Quint. And then number 3 is going to be, I guess I'll do On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which is George Lazenby's only outing.
Number 3.
But it's just so good. Really good ski chase scene. And then a good love story. It's actually the only James Bond in the earlier years that showed James Bond actually being vulnerable and actually falling in love, which is cool.
Wow.
Number 2 is another one where he kind of falls in love. That's Casino Royale.
Okay.
Daniel Craig's first one. Awesome opening. Awesome soundtrack.
Wow, number 2.
Yeah, awesome opening with Chris Cornell's song and stuff. And then also Vesper Lynn as Eva, or Vesper Lynn played by Eva Green. She's an awesome girl.
Right.
And then number 1 is the obvious choice. I have to go with it. Everybody would pick this one, I think, to be number 1, and that's Goldfinger.
Yeah.
Goldfinger is number 1. That's Sean Connery. It's actually interesting because he's actually captured for like half the movie, and he's just like kind of waiting and talking to the villain for like half the movie. But it's really good.
The dialogue's great.
And the villain's really good. Orc Goldfinger, played by Gert Frobe or whatever. He actually didn't speak English. They dubbed all his lines.
Whoa.
So they had somebody come in and voice him. But he's just really menacing, and he's got...
He's a good bad guy.
You want me to talk, Goldfinger? No, I expect you to die. Like, that's good. And then it's got the guy, Odd Job, who throws his hat. It's like a metal hat. He like breaks people's necks with his hat. That's awesome. There's a good final battle with like a shootout, like where the military comes in and fights Goldfinger's bad guys. I don't know.
It's good stuff.
It's really good. And it's got the best name for a Bond girl, Pussy Galore.
Pussy Galore.
Which is so weird. In the book, she's a lesbian, though, I think.
Oh. Yeah.
But not in the movie. They couldn't do that in the movie.
Can't do it, especially in 63.
Yeah.
Can't be having lesbians in movies.
Yeah, that was too early. So that's my list.
Okay, that's a good list. I don't have a list.
What was your favorite James Bond? Do you have like one that you really like?
No, I mean I really do love Goldfinger, but I remember more about the Roger Moore films than any of them, like Octopussy and Spy Who Loves Me. And even Live and Let Die. I liked all of those. Live and Let Die
is good too.
But I don't think I have a favorite. I'm not good at favorites. You know this.
I know. I don't know. The thing about the reason why I like James Bond so much is just for the fact that it's been around for so long, and it actually did start a lot of things. Like it started filming off like in locations and stuff. That was like a big thing. They filmed a lot like overseas and like all over the place because people, they said, like didn't travel a lot like in like the 50s and 60s. Right. So like that was like a way of showing people all these like exotic locales that they just couldn't go to. So that was cool. It started kind of like the detective genre. I mean, there was already like film noirs, but this was more like spy thriller and also action. It brought like there weren't really a lot of action movies like prior to that. Like there was like gangster movies, but not like full on action. Yeah, and it started a lot of things where like ninjas. Ninjas were never shown in an American film until You Only Live Twice.
Really?
Ninjas, yeah. Which is crazy because he went to Japan and stuff and trained with them. And like that was like part of the movie. And like they were never depicted on screen as that. It just started a lot of things. And like obviously you get like movies like spoof movies like Johnny English or Austin Powers and stuff that spoof those movies. Like
that's how you know something's good, when there's spoofs of it.
And it's been around for so long and it's still kicking. And the fact that Skyfall broke $1 billion and beat Dark Knight Rises that year, it shows that people still do love these movies, as long as they turn out good ones.
Exactly.
Of course.
But it's also like a name they know. Like nowadays, there's so many remakes, and these aren't remakes. They're just, they're new movies with the same kind of concept, but way different.
Right.
So.
But it's like, yeah, it's the same kind of thing. And I think a lot of people also don't give it enough credit in the sense of, the earlier ones might have been a tad sexist and racist. Yeah, I'll give you that. It was early.
It was so early.
But I will say that throughout the 70s, like Barbara Bach, who was actually married to Ringo Starr, she plays a Bond girl in The Spy Who Loved Me. And she's actually an agent for the Russians, and her agent name is Triple X. So she's an agent. So they wanted to bring in like a girl where she was like Bond's equal and stuff. So they have had like a lot of people are talking about how they're finally getting like girls in there to have like more of a role rather than just like a femme fatale type character. But there were other ones. Halle Berry in Die Another Day was like actually fighting people and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, and there's female villains and all that kind of stuff, getting eaten by piranhas and fun stuff.
They're good movies. They're good movies.
Yeah.
So let's take a moment to honor the Hugo Drax from Moonraker.
Yeah,
Michael Lonsdale died this year. R.I.P. that guy.
Yep.
That movie that I don't think I even saw.
He said, I think in an interview, they asked him about being in a James Bond movie, like how he felt. And he goes, well, I've been acting for like decades. And he's like, no one really knew me. He's like, I wanted to be in a big budget blockbuster just so people would know, like just so people could see. And so that way I could say I was in something that people saw. And Moonraker was one of those Roger Moore ones that went a little crazy and went out to space.
You always got to go out to space.
Yeah. I mean, they did that to capitalize on the fact that everybody loved Star Wars at the time. So they're like, let's just do it. They moved it up because I read the book Moonraker. It's about a rocket, but he doesn't go to space.
He doesn't go to space.
But in the movie, they're like, yeah, we're going to space.
Fights in a rocket.
Yeah. So, he died. Plus, a couple Roger Moore died not too long ago.
I think there's like 80s. Some writers or something that died too. There's some other people that died.
I mean, it's been around for a long time. Diana Rigg died recently.
Oh yeah, she died this year too. Oh, Arthur Worcester and Chunky Hoos, special effects supervisor.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
I don't know that.
Unit director, director of photography, skier, diver, and all-round action man.
Albert R. Broccoli died a while back, and his daughter took over for running productions and everything, and she's the one that people were like upset. They're like, I don't want to see a female James Bond. Like they're all upset about No Time to Die coming out because they show like this new she's like a 00 agent because Bond retires, so they're thinking that she is going to take over. And what I forget what her name is, but the daughter of Albert R. Broccoli, who now runs everything, she's like, Bond's not going to be female. It's not going to be female, but we are going to have female side characters that are,
it could be strong female characters.
Right.
Like, it doesn't have to be sexist that the Bond doesn't become a woman. Like,
right. I think that that's a good way to do it because
I agree.
In this one, it does seem like there are a lot of Ana de Armas plays a Bond girl, but she's like in the trailer, she's like shooting with like a submachine gun and a pistol at the same time or something.
Nice.
So like it looks pretty cool. So I'm excited for the new one.
I'm excited too.
Obviously,
I hung the banner up. We got an email. I remember the first month back at the theater being open, we got an email that was like, does anyone want any James Bond marketing materials, and I was just like, automatically, yes, all of them.
I'll take it all.
I'll take it all. So they sent me a banner, and I hung it up right away. They sent us a new standee. They sent us some more posters. I'm stoked.
Nice.
And then I gave you that old poster with the old date on it.
Yeah. I still haven't hung it up, but I have it.
Way to go.
I took all my posters down for right now because I was moving everything around.
That's true. True. Okay.
So how do we celebrate?
Watch Bond movies, listen to Bond music.
The BBC
plays
Bond movies
Bond
all the time.
trivia. Robert here has won Bond trivia before, and you win $150.
Pretty much by myself. I went with Christina, but she didn't.
Yeah, no, that'd be like me going with you. I know one thing.
And we were in first place the whole time.
All right, let's do some trivia real quick. Fast trivia. Who is the first actor to play M?
To play M? Bernard Lee.
Bernard Lee. Okay. What's next?
He was in as M all the way until Moonraker. Whoa. He was in 17 of them, I believe.
Bonus points. What was the first Bond film to star Pierce Brosnan?
Oh, Goldeneye.
Yeah, these are easy.
Yeah.
They get harder. These are too easy for Robert Lamb. What is the title of the 23rd James Bond film?
The 23rd would be that's Skyfall.
Skyfall, yeah. How is Major Boothroyd better known? Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's his name.
Which Bond film is set primarily in Japan?
It's got to be You Only Live Twice.
Oh.
I think.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I was trying to think if there was another one.
Spectre stands for Special Executive for Counterintelligence, Terrorism, Revenge, and what?
Extortion.
Wow. What's the English name of Elliot Carver's newspaper in Tomorrow Never Dies?
Oh, I think it's Tomorrow, right?
Probably. Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
There's multiple choices, so I'm not giving them to you.
Yeah.
Which featured film featured London's Millennium Dome?
Oh.
The World Is Not Enough, A View to Kill.
I think it's The World Is Not Enough.
Yep, you're right.
Because he falls on it.
Name the film in which Maude Adams played the title role.
Oh, the title role she plays in Octopussy, but she was also a Bond girl in The Man.
They didn't even give that as an option. Wow.
Yeah.
What is the code name for Goldfinger's plan to rob Fort Knox?
Oh, hold on. Operation Grand Slam.
Wow, what a name.
Yeah, because he was trying to be like American.
What does 00 signify in 007?
How many kills?
License to kill?
License to kill, like.
Yeah. What is Moonraker?
It's a rocket.
Space shuttle?
Space shuttle.
Plan to bomb the moon. That was one of the options. Name one film in which Sheriff J.W. Pepper appears.
I'll tell you both of them.
Okay, great.
The Man with the Golden Gun, and he was in Live and Let Die.
It told me no on A Man with a Golden Gun. That's weird.
No, he was in that one.
What was the first film in which we saw James Bond on skis?
Oh, the first James Bond?
Yes.
That's got to be On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait,
who sang the theme for Diamonds Are Forever?
Diamonds Are Forever. That's it's the same girl who sings
Rita Coolidge, Shirley Bassey, or
Shirley Bassey, because she did 3 of them.
What famous landmark does Grace Jones jump from in A View to Kill?
Eiffel Tower.
How? I love how they show a picture, and that's like
that gives you.
What was Alec Sean Bean 00 number?
006.
Okay.
Alex Trevelyan.
Yeah, that guy. Which filmmaker directed both Goldeneye and Casino Royale?
Martin Campbell. I talked about him earlier.
Which villain had a manservant named Knick Knack?
Oh, that was Christopher Lee. That was the Man with the Golden Gun. That was Scaramanga.
Scaramanga. How many times did Timothy Dalton play James Bond?
Twice.
Oh, it's easy. What are these easy questions?
Yeah.
Which film opens with Bond attending a funeral and attacking a grieving widow?
Oh, Thunderball. She wasn't. It was actually a guy dressed as a widow, as a girl.
Jeez. Alongside Bernard Lee and Dame Judi Dench, who else played M?
Robert Brown. He played it twice. Wow. He took over.
Well, we got 100 points in round 1. In which film did we hear the phrase "The world is not enough"?
Oh, On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Yep.
That was the family motto.
Which film features Brooklyn-born magician and card shark Ricky Jay?
Tomorrow Never Dies.
Correct. These are too easy for you. How many? They're not. How many Bond film features the arch villain Ernest Starvo Blofeld?
Oh, that one's hard. How many features him?
Yes. 1, 5, or 6. Wow, look at those options.
Well, it's not one.
Oh, he's got a kitty.
Hold on, really quick. From Russia with Love, he's not in Gold. He's in Thunderball, and he's in You Only Live Twice, and he's in For Your Eyes Only, and he's in, I'm going to say 6. Or no, maybe it's 5.
You got 6.
All right, 6.
Go with your gut. Which film does Sean Connery's wife, Diane Cilentro, appear? Oh, see? His wife.
Wait.
His wife.
Oh, wait, what?
Which film does Sean Connery's then wife, Diane Cilentro, appear?
Oh, I don't know that one. Let me guess. His wife would probably
Probably the earlier one.
Diamonds Are Forever? No, that was a later one.
Only Live Twice, Thunderball, or Russia with Love? Which one came first?
I guess From Russia with Love would be the earliest one, but I don't think that's it.
It's not. You're right. It was Only Live Twice.
Yeah, I was trying to think it was like a later one, but I said Diamonds Are Forever just because.
What is the name? This is a good one. What is the name of Cara Malovi's cello in The Living Daylights?
Oh, it's something like a rose.
A lady rose or Guns N' Roses?
The Lady Rose. That's it.
Guns N' Roses. Seriously? Stupid. Okay, we're done with this.
Yeah, that's good.
You did good.
Thank you. I still say J.W.
You're probably right.
Pepper was in.
I trust you more than this James Bond website.
He was in 2. I think he was in that one, unless I'm thinking. And he was in 2 back-to-back. That's got to be it.
Okay.
All right. Whatever. Yeah, so definitely watch James Bond.
I'm going to watch that
Listen to some music. I will say that some of the best songs, which are theme songs, are like really good hits too. Like
my
Adele,
favorite things
Skyfall.
are the 007 intros.
Yeah, the music, like, I mean, Live and Let Die by Wings. Nobody Does It Better by Carly Simon. Aha has Living Daylights.
Yep.
I mean, there's really good music. And Billie Eilish has her new song, No Time to Die.
Yeah.
And the last 2 have won Oscars. Sam Smith won for Writings on the Wall, which was Spectre. And then Skyfall was Adele.
That's why you get an Oscar, is write a 007 song.
Yeah, well, it's only worked the last 2 times out of 24. But maybe I'll keep going.
Fair. So do we have a cake today?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I guess you're right.
You have to have a cake.
With like the 007.
Yeah, the 007 insignia.
Yeah.
And then you watch James Bond.
And eat at the same time.
Yeah.
And drink a martini.
And you sing Diamonds
Or
Are
you can
Forever.
get this limited edition 007 rum that came out this year.
Really?
Yep.
No, I want that. Rum.
Yep, it's called...
Because he probably he retires, I think, in this one.
Rum.
So maybe that's what he's like on an island drinking rum.
I think there's like some champagne, too. There's like a lot of stuff promoting this movie. Yep, it's champagne. 007 champagne. Bollinger Special QV. I'm not pronouncing any of that right. October 1st.
I mean, that's one of the
things. It's available now.
That's not that we're going to go into, but we didn't even talk about the cars he drives, his gadgets.
I know.
I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot
so
of
much
stuff.
James Bond stuff.
Yeah. Next year.
Next year.
We'll celebrate.
You're going to bore everyone.
Bore everybody again. But we'll just go into like the cars and gadgets.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. A lot of fun stuff.
Cool.
Well,
I guess that does it for this episode of James Bond. No, one other thing you can do to celebrate, if you have an N64, play GoldenEye.
Ooh, yeah.
That's a solid James Bond game.
I have it on the Wii U, I think. Does it come out on Wii U?
No. They had one on Wii. They remade it.
Oh, yeah. When you could get the box that come with the gold controller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that. That's what I got.
Yeah. I that's one of the best games ever made, and it's based on a James Bond movie, which is awesome.
True story.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
This has been a Seven Lamb production.